I don't know, like I wouldn't say like happy March 27th day. Does anybody else do that? I don't know. I do know this. Let me talk about how things are going for me this morning. I don't know if I told you, but maybe I downloaded the new Windows. Maybe I didn't. I don't even know. I woke up and my computer was like, okay, we're setting everything up. Maybe my computer crashed. I don't know. But then, it's supposed to mess with my graphics. It's supposed to help my graphics card. So I'm all in. So then, I went to, start a live stream the other day and it crashed. And I think most of you saw that, for what it was. And that's okay. That's okay. But, I guess because of that, I've been getting a little nervous about stuff. And so yesterday I finished my live stream and, had a lot to do. And, somehow when I went to put up my new live stream yesterday, when I went to put up my notes and get everything ready, it got saved wrong. It got saved the day before. And then I went and changed it to today, and I thought everything was fine because I saw it with my own eyes, the file. So I thought I was good. Wake up this morning, get ready for the show. All my notes are from yesterday. There's no new notes. It's like, that's not helpful. That's not helpful. And so there's certain things that I like to, there's certain things I like to have in order. Like I like to know where we're looking for real estate every day ahead of time. Right now my list is messed up. So I'm kind of flying blind. I probably should fix that today too. The articles, usually I have pretty, like I normally try to keep a few articles ahead so that in case, something were to come up where I wasn't able to research articles like today, I'd still be okay. So I have the articles. Google search trends, those happen all the time. So that's not really a problem, but it kind of scares you. And the crash scares me, or the update scares me. So I'm a little nervous as we go on, just because of maybe some gremlins in the system lately. So the one day, I went on and everything crashed. So anyway, that's where I'm at right now. I have a caramel sitting on my desk and I want to eat it. But we know that if I do, that I can't talk for 2 minutes. So it's kind of tempting me. I don't think I'm going to be able to resist, but I'm going to try. I have more things to do than I'm really able to get done in a day right now. And it's kind of crazy. So we'll talk about that. And then, I don't know. Let me check something because I just want to make sure I got it in order here. Okay. I was just checking on some things. You guys tell me about yourselves. Do you ever get a chance to just relax? You know how I work. It's basically work, collapse. Work, collapse. That's normally how I do it. I don't know. What's it like to have a weekend where you don't have to work? Asking for a friend. I just thought that was a funny one. So as you can tell, I believe I'm 4 minutes in, and I can't get into the flow. And so I guess what I should do is talk about my showings yesterday, because that's probably going to get the ball rolling. So we knew Friday night was tough. We knew that yesterday was going to be tough with showings. Didn't exactly know how it was going to play out, but I'm ready to go. So Friday night, we saw a house where we want to put an offer in on. Okay. Saturday, I was meeting with some wonderful clients across the board. The first house we looked at was in, they say Bevo, which is, okay, so there's this little spot where there's this old, like, it's Bevo Mill. It's like this German mill that Anheuser-Busch, that he built it. He drives home and he wanted to have a place to hang out. So he built this mill, it's a mill. It's not really a mill. It doesn't really work, but it's amazing. It's like one of the more fascinating things in St. Louis, I would think. I'm sure you probably couldn't get away with doing it now. It doesn't fit the neighborhood. But anyway, that's where we were. And the first house was going to be a fix and flip. I already knew it going in. They paid $60 for it. They were asking probably $150 more than what they put into it. And then, we go there, and it's not a night. It's weird because there was a house across the street, but that particular street, that's Eichelberger. That's like a busy street. This was on West Street. I'll say where it was. If they think they're going to get some sort of intel from me, then, so be it. But how many streets are named West in St. Louis? And then how big are they? And then how many are for sale? So you have to guess all of that just to know what I'm talking about. And I'm sure you can, because the internet's very smart, but collectively, but sometimes, individuals. Oh, I got to talk about that too. I'm going to put it down here because I haven't gotten that far. Okay. So Eichelberger is kind of busy and the houses are cute. And so last week there was a house that we were interested in. We ended up being more interested in another house to put an offer on. So then there was this house, which was on the corner, and it sits on a hill, and I don't know. I wanted to like it, but we go in. First thing you do, you go in, and there's it's not a breezeway because you open the door and you literally walk right into a wall. The space is only big enough for the door to open. Go to the left. There's a Home Depot carpet on the left, staged very nicely. You go through some hardwood flooring. You turn to the right, another room, and that's the 2 bedrooms. You walk a little further, and you have this kind of what I would say a great room, where you have the bathroom, the first bathroom 1. And then you have that when you use the bathroom, you literally come out into your living room. Is that any better than the kitchen? I guess a little, but it's not great. Not great. So then when you go to the right, there is the steps to the basement. It's not like behind a door or anything. So any sort of noises in the basement, any sort of HVAC, washing machines, anything in the basement, you're going to hear. Not a complaint, just an observation. Then you go to the kitchen in the back. The kitchen would be fine except for the floor they put in isn't even put in right. It's already separating. What does that say about a fix and flip when you can't even get the flooring done right before you put it on the market? What do you think buyers are thinking when they see you can't put down flooring? If you can't put down flooring, is it going to get any better anywhere else? What are you hiding? So then we decided to go downstairs. You go downstairs. It was they put down plywood and then they put down flooring over it. And they had this really weird, the way they did the flooring was annoying. I've told you, stagger the joints. And they didn't. And so it was stupid. That was the first room. And then there's bars on the windows. Not that it's a very dangerous place. I don't want you to think that. It's just that maybe it was at one time or something, but the bars make it look like you're in a prison. You should not be in a prison in your own house. This is my opinion. Remember we talked about that on the podcast on Thursday. Bill Gross feels like he's in a prison because he's living in a beach house in Malibu and his neighbor calls the cops on him every 5 minutes anytime he goes outside. Anyway, I mean, here we're in South City, we're in Bevo, and people feel like they're living in a prison. So this is what I'm saying is you can be worth $1.5 billion. You could be worth $30,000 and you're still in a bad situation. So Then we went to the back, and I would say this: there was another real estate agent. Like, I'm getting sick of everything. I'm getting sick of everything. Every showing I go to, there's got to be 15 people there, showing houses, and it's just all the time, just people everywhere, and it kind of screws up showings. But those are only on houses that you like in the first place. So, but this was a very nice man. He introduced himself. He said, hey, do you mind if I go show the other part of it? I was like, go for it. What am I going to do? Say no? Now, when there was Rona, this one lady one time, she came in and she said, hey, is it okay if I show my buyers, or do you want me to wait? I said, would you wait? Because I'm almost done. I'm almost done. And then she said, yes. And I appreciated that. Most of the time, I mean, for the most part, real estate agents, when they're out in public and talking to each other, like in a communal setting, they're pretty professional and nice. It's when you get into these, bidding wars and listing agents that are idiots and they're insecure. That's the problems most of the time. Anyway, so we go look around the back. It was not good. Go outside. Backyard was a mud pit, which is fine. They tried to put down some grass, but it's too early in the season right now for it to grow. There was a garage, but this is me. I don't know. I try to tell other people what I'm thinking. The garage was like a lower garage, and the only way you could get your lawnmower into the backyard is if you walked all the way around the house, or you went up these stairs with the lawnmower, and the lawnmower's not going to like that over time. So that, and then I don't know. So that house was a no. Like, they were just no. So then, how do I put it? I've told you this. When you go on showings, sometimes you're going and it's going to be a waste of time. Like tonight, I know I'm going on a showing and I know it's going to be a waste of time. We're going to see two houses that were virtually staged. My buyer thinks the pictures are great because he likes the pictures, and it's just going to be a disaster. There's a chance that one of the three are going to be decent. So then you go, you play the odds, 1 out of 3. So whatever. So anyway, we go to the second house. Second house was close to a very nice, like a bar, neighborhood bar. And that was okay. Like, if you have a corner bar, if you have something that for young people, that some place where they can go, close where they can walk, and that's a great anchor. That's a great anchor. And as I was telling you about the other buyer that I have, we can't even find something in Webster or Kirkwood for less than $300,000 that's within walkable distance to like a bar or something close. So that's annoying. But this was in South City, and there was a place you could literally walk and not have an issue. So, we went to this house, and it was an open house, and it was a mess. I got to do something. So, have you ever been on an open house? I suspect you have. There's normally a realtor who's sitting there, and they're like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I'm that guy. When I have a showing, I'm like, "Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. I'm John." That's just what you do, right? And how do I put this? There are other people that have never done open houses before, I guess, or have never gone to one, and they become agents. And then if you're a big enough brokerage and you're looking for, to try and develop more business, you go and you sit open houses that aren't even yours. And so that's what this was. This guy I don't know if he'd ever ever done an open house, but if he had, he's terrible at it. And you say, how can you be so bad at an open house? I don't know. You literally say, hello, my name is so-and-so. Feel free to walk around. If you have any questions, just let me know. And then you get out of the way. But he started off with the wrong question. His question was, are you first-time home buyers? It's like, what are you doing, man? I'm sitting right here. Like, no. What are you doing? So anyway, it already started off bad. He's like, would you like to sign in? I'm like, no, we would not. Well, that way I can send you more listings. Like, I don't want more listings. I'm literally showing my buyers houses. They're literally working with me. This is not the time to this is not the time to try and poach clients. You got to understand, like, these are mine. You lost. Go find some others. So I'm sitting there and he says that. And then I'm like, well, maybe he'll go away. So he goes to the other room and I'm like, okay, let's look at some of the other stuff. So we're looking. It's a dump. There's no one there. That's never a good sign at open house. It's okay. Well, he said there were like 5 people that came before us, but it was like 15 minutes in. Some of the open houses I've been to, you can't even there's a line out the door, which is stupid also. Can't win. Don't get me wrong. But we go in first room, second room, third room, So what we got? We got 3 rooms so far that we don't like any of them. There's like a middle, like a little center kind of, it's like a hall, but it kind of distributes the rooms everywhere. So the next one is the kitchen. The guy's in the kitchen, so we go to the basement. And we go in the basement, it's got a small, short ceiling. That's no fun. There's a room in the back. It's got all kinds of crap in it. It's basically somebody probably is moving somewhere better, but they don't care about where they're living now and don't care if it sells for a good amount of money. Yeah, so whatever. So then by that point in time, the buyers were like, I'm done. I hate this. Don't want to do it. It's like, I understand. Let's just take a look because we're here. Go upstairs. And we're all like, there was supposed to be like another floor here. Where is it? And he says, oh yeah, it's right here. So we stand in front of the door to the upstairs. So we go up the stairs. It's like, no. It was bad. The kitchen was bad. Nothing about this house was good, but the price. The price always gets people. Anyway, so we go to the backyard because why not? It was a decent backyard, nothing great. And then we leave. That was that. And I told him, I said, look, not every I swear, there's just annoying. So anyway, remember we're supposed to turn off the text. So anyway, that was that house. It was all right. You could understand why the buyers went to both, because in the second house it was dirty. It was disgusting. They had not cleaned anything. There was an air conditioner, but there was like dust all over the air conditioning. It was just disgusting. But you can see in the pictures, the photographer isn't going to take a picture of the dusty windows. I mean, that's just not going to happen. So, all the appliances and everything were greasy and nasty. I mean, that's the difference between going to see a house in person and seeing it online. It's going to look better. So that was that house. Then, I said goodbye to those buyers and I went up and met with another buyer out in the county. And we looked at a house. They had a nest. They had all the security camera features you could possibly want. I'm positive they were watching us the entire time. And my buyer brought her daughter, a wonderful little girl, maybe 9. And I just want to kind of have some fun with this. I'm not going to criticize a 9-year-old. Okay. But what's funny to me is, I tell my buyers all the time, look, when we're at a house, they're probably listening to us the entire time. Not always. So the houses that we saw previous, there weren't, because there were no listening devices that we could see. There was no Rings. There was no, Alexas. There wasn't anything like that. But in this other house, this was a high-tech family, quote unquote, and they had their stuff all linked. And so the 9-year-old doesn't know this. Okay. And so I tell my buyers, hey, if you like the house, that's great. Don't talk too much in the house. Don't say too much. Keep all of it like, oh, that's nice. I mean, poker face, right? We're not trying to let people know how much we like the house, because we're trying to just keep us. In most markets, you're not going to have 30 offers. So anyway, unless you hate the house, and then if you say something bad, it doesn't hurt my feelings, but it may hurt the seller's feelings, but you're not buying the house, so you don't care. Anyway, so we go in, and every room, she's just, the 9-year-old's like, this is the best house ever. I'm like, oh, mommy, can we buy it? It's like, and the mom, nice lady, she's like, this is not, I know this isn't right. This isn't good. So it is a nice house. It's a very nice house. We go into the basement, nice basement, nothing to say, but I will say this. Let me just this is the knowledge that you get from my real estate channel. Okay. People say, why do you even have a real estate channel? Nobody watches. Well, for these nuggets, you should watch for this reason. So this house came to the market earlier in the week. There were disclosures. I forwarded the disclosures, noticing it's in St. Louis. There's a 6-page seller's disclosure. Okay. And I noticed mysteriously that one of the pages, there were 6 pages. All 5 pages were filled out perfectly, except for the one that I pay most attention to, which is page 3. Page 3 wasn't filled out at all. Oh, that's kind of weird, because it deals with like the basement being wet or leaking, things of this nature. So I pointed that out to my buyer. She said, well, do you think that they're, you're going to ask the agent about it? I'm like, I don't want to ask the agent about it right now, because it's too perfect that this page is missing. So then, like, not filled out. So then a little bit later, they redid the disclosure, and I saw the disclosure, and it was like, everything was filled out except for the basement part again, except for it was like poorly looked. It looked poor. Like, oh, I just forgot to answer that. So that means to me that they're playing games. And I mean, if they're not, that's fine, but it's awful dicey at this point. So I pointed that out to the buyer. I was like, you do not want to buy a house with a crappy foundation under any, especially a finished basement. First time it rains, you're going to be miserable. But we don't know for a fact. You say, well, are you going to ask? I said, I don't know if I'm going to ask. I'm going to wait until you're going to write an offer. If you're going to write an offer, we'll ask. I mean, if you're thinking about writing an offer, like strongly considering it. So then we leave that house, and I don't know. I don't want to talk about that particular home. I don't want to give it any like distinguishing characteristics that might hurt our negotiating position. Then I came home and I talked to some buyers about showings today, scheduling some of those. I worked on an offer, a lot of offer work yesterday. Then I went to look at another house in the evening with another buyer in St. Louis. And this was interesting, and I just wanted to go over it with you. We go in the first rooms. It's a house on a hill, and it kind of overlooks everything, and it's pretty cool. Price isn't bad in South City. I'll say it's in South City. Where is it exactly? They say it's in Holly Hills, but I don't feel like it's really in Holly Hills, but whatever. whatever. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the wrong one. They say it's in Boulevard Heights. I'll go with that. I'll go with that. There's a house in Boulevard Heights I went to. So nice front room. Okay. But you could kind of tell like it was male dominated in a way. I don't know if that, like I was a bachelor for 20 years. My house was male dominated. It was not soft, what I would say. It's not, I didn't have any pillows on the couch. You know, I didn't have any throws. It's not a criticism of by any means. I'm just telling you what I saw. So it was heavily, and my buyer happens to be a bachelor. So, I mean, this could work out great. So we go in, and the way the house is set up, the first room is like the family room, the living room. Then you go straight to the kitchen. Kitchen was a great size. And then there's a staircase upstairs. There's a formal dining room next to that. And then in the back, there's a bedroom. And the only way you can get there is through going around the entire room, which is great. You know, you have some privacy. But it was really interesting. And I hope someone, I don't think there's anything wrong with this house. I'm trying, I hope, I don't want to disparage the listing. The listing said, hey, there's a greenhouse in the back and there might be some cactus in there that you could prick yourself. So try not to go there. And that's really nice heads up. Okay. So we go to the basement. It's a short basement, but there's all these plants. It's not going to be a finished basement because it's too short. You know, like when you're walking around and you're ducking everywhere, not going to work. So there's all these plants. It's like, it's kind of interesting. It's interesting because the guy or whoever lives there is really good at plants. There's no question. And so then we went, when we went into what was the formal dining room, we started seeing these snakes in cages, you know, aquariums, or is it a terrarium? I don't know. Does it demand a terrarium can have water? Well, we're going to go with that. It can have water. So we were all these snakes. Go in the bedroom. There's a snake. My buyer hates snakes. I'm ambivalent towards snakes. Not really like, so then we go upstairs and I don't even remember the upstairs. It was not memorable, but I think there were more snakes. I think there were snakes in the one room. Then there was like a snake terrarium that didn't have any snakes in it. In the other room, there were some more snakes, a lot of snakes. And here's where I'm at. When you talk about staging a house for showings, some might say, hey, maybe keep it down to like one snake or two. Or the listing agent maybe should mention in the listing remarks to the agents only, hey, my seller has a snake collection. To warn me about the cactus or the succulents or whatever they were, and not about the snakes seems like an oversight. Go in the backyard. Backyard's great size, wonderful, but it just, to me, it seemed like there was a lot of deferred maintenance at that home. For instance, it had a garage / shed, but the shed was falling down. It had windows that were from original to the home that were just rotten. The house was tired. It needed love. And where it was, and for the price that they're offering or they're listing it for, you were not going to be able to put much love into it and get your money out of it. So that's a problem. But best of luck to those sellers. Now, let's get into offer strategy. And I just wanted to go over it with you because I think it's interesting. We're going to write maybe 2 offers that I know of so far. Maybe 3, depending. I'm eating the chocolate. I did it. I'm going to check my text. Worst food to get on a live stream is chocolate caramel. I hope I don't choke. It's so good though. I'm getting ready to drop some knowledge. And I'm going to bring you along. And then we're going to talk about it. Maybe you have a better idea. Okay. So, one offer. How do you evaluate properties when people are always constantly making offers over asking? Like significantly. And how do you do that? When your buyer says, hey, how much are we going to need to get this house under contract? Well, it's a good question. One of the things I've looked at lately, I'm just putting out there, I've looked at price per square foot. In the commercial space, price per square foot is really a big deal. They use it. In the residential side, very seldom do people use price per square foot. They use comparable sales method, which is like, well, this house sold for this, so this house should sell for that, which is fine. What was I going to say? So appraisers are most likely going to look at comparative sales on the residential side as well. There are other ways, income approach or as-built approach, but those are not really applicable. So price per square foot in a home is not necessarily the most reliable factor because of the market choosing to use comparable sales. Okay, so it has limitations, but in this market, let me just try and go over two offers and explain what my thinking is. One offer, if you look at the price per square foot of the asking price of this particular home, it is lower than what other homes have sold for on a per square footage basis in this subdivision. Okay. And if you apply the highest number on a price per square foot basis, it's going to be higher than what my buyer is going to offer as their max offer. So to me, there's a cushion there. There's a cushion in the appraisal, because the appraisal may come in low, but it's not going to come in too much lower than the right house. And it could go, you could be able to buy this thing, and maybe some appraiser's smart and realizes how many extra square feet are in this particular condo versus others. Now you say, well, I said condo. I didn't mean that. I meant a house. You say, well, John, why did this house get priced the way it was? Well, the seller is using comparative sales approach. Okay. So why do we care? Well, because this particular buyer is well capitalized, meaning they have cash, and they can go over the appraisal. They can cover the gap. So that's one offer most likely to be made. Solid offer. Second house, the asking price on a per square footage basis is $40 per square foot more than any house has ever sold for in the neighborhood. The asking price, not the sales price. Okay. So if we were to put in an offer, it may not even appraise at asking. This particular buyer has to have an appraisal. They have no cash to bring to the table. They can't go over asking by much, and it certainly can't go over the appraisal. Where's an appraiser going to find numbers to justify this particular home? So what does our offer have to be? Our offer has to be at asking and hope that it appraises. We can't go over. We can't cover the gap. So that's that. That's the deal. So 2 different offers structured 2 different ways because of the particular buyers that I have. And you say, well, John, isn't that a terrible constraint? Well, there are constraints in the marketplace. When interest rates go up, house prices have to go down at some point. It's not, there's constraints, and we operate a lot of times, at least government policy is we operate that there's no constraints ever. Maybe they aren't for the government, but for you and me, even us millionaires, which I'm not, there's constraints. And so the illustration there is twofold. One, I can't in good conscience tell my buyer of the home that isn't going to appraise or isn't likely to appraise over asking. I can't tell them that it's a good idea to write an escalation clause. I can't in good conscience. And on the other one, I can say, hey, look, this is what it says on a per square foot basis. We have some room here if we need to go. And if we miss on the appraisal, here's the amount of cash you'll need. Now, that's true. Both instances are accurate indicators of the market in which I'm in. You say, well, John, you're going to lose out on the house because people are going to write more offers more than asking. Yeah. Could. Because there's different ways people are valuing houses. I mean, if you're an agent and you're broke and this is the chance and you've got a well-capitalized buyer and you can get them to write a stupid offer based on no comparable sales. I mean, do it, I guess, right? That's where you're at. You're desperate. You can't feed your family. You can't eat, right? Your buyer wants to buy the house. They're into it. So that's what you do. I'm not that way. I hope to never be in that situation. But, maybe the buyer's tired. Maybe they don't want to look anymore. They're like, I just want this house. Make it happen. Then you're not working on the basis of comparable sales, and you're not working on the basis of like finding value or anything for your buyers. You're just literally going shopping and don't have any coupons with you. Okay. I mean, that's where I'm at. That's what I'm seeing. So I just wanted to bring it to you. Your offers are structured to how your buyers can work them. And so in this market, if it goes above asking and you've got a buyer that can't go above asking, you're toast. And so how does that matter? Well, that's one of the problems I have with some of my buyers right now. It's like you're looking at the houses that everyone else is going to want to buy, and you're bringing a knife to a gun show. You can't compete with these people. You should be looking for something terrible that no one wants that's been on the market for like 5 days, 5 to 10. That's where you should be looking. That's your pool you're playing in. And you say, well, those houses are ugly and terrible. I don't want. Well, I don't know what to tell you. You either need to get more cash on hand, or stop. Just give up. You're wasting everyone's time. It's sad. Like, you have to try and explain this to people and they don't understand. They're so used to going to the store and there's cereal on the shelves and they buy the cereal that they want and they move on. They want to believe that the real estate market is a grocery store and you go find the house you want and you move on. It's just not that easy because you don't know if you can afford the house that you want. And most of the time, if everybody else wants it, you can't. It's not a good situation. There's always somebody that's got more money than you. Okay. So that's where I'm at. Hope you enjoyed that. Let's get to some luxury listings. Here we go. Oh, no. We're not doing luxury listings. I'm sorry. We got an article. Gosh, we need to get going here. We got an article. Okay. So this was on Google Trends. I thought this was interesting. I thought I should bring it to you. And just so you understand, it says, this had 20,000 more views than usual, I guess. Sean Penn, I'll smelt my Oscars if the Academy doesn't let Zelensky speak. And it's spelled wrong. At least I've seen Zelensky spelled with 2 Y's. I've seen Zelensky spelled with 1 Y. I've not seen this IY. It says actor vows to melt down statuettes if Ukrainian president is not offered a platform at Sunday's ceremony. Okay, so this is how out of touch your Hollywood stars are. It says Sean Penn has described any potential lack of backing by the Academy Awards for the Ukrainian people as the most obscene moment in all of Hollywood history. What was that communist thing back in the day? I forgot the name of it even. They bring it up all the time, and I just can't remember what it is. It was the guy that went after communism, and they held those hearings. I don't remember his name, but they use it. Hollywood uses that for everything. They're like, we can't do this because of this. We can't do this because of this. We're being treated poorly because of this. It was like there were blacklists for communists. I don't remember what it was called, though. Anyway, speaking on CNN, Penn, who has been in Ukraine and Poland making a documentary about the plight of refugees, vowed to publicly melt down his Oscar statuettes if the awards body declined to offer the Ukrainian president, Vladimir Zelensky, a platform at Sunday night's event. There is nothing greater than that the Academy Awards could do than to give Zelensky an opportunity to talk to all of us. It is my understanding the decision has been made not to do it. That is not me commenting on whether or not President Zelensky had wanted to. So there's nothing greater that the Academy Awards could do. Nothing greater. And it's my understanding the decision has been made not to do it. That's not me commenting on whether or not he had wanted to. Penn suggested that if the Academy had elected not to pursue the leadership in Ukraine who are taking bullets and bombs for us, along with the Ukrainian children that they are trying to protect, then I think every single one of those people and every bit of that decision will have been the most obscene moment in all of Hollywood history. I don't think so. I don't think he realizes how obscene Hollywood is. Earlier this week, Amy Schumer, one of 3 hosts for this year's ceremony, said she pitched a way to have Zelensky's satellite inner make a tape, but implied that her input had been unwelcome. I'm not afraid to go there, but it's not me producing the Oscars. Other sources reported that Zelensky had declined an invitation to contribute via Zoom. Penn urged a widespread boycott of the event should it be confirmed that no approach to Zelensky had been made. If it comes back to it, I will smelt mine in public. I pray that's not what happened. I pray there have not been arrogant. I don't even know if he believes in anything. There have not been arrogant people who consider themselves representative of the greater good in my industry, his industry, he owns it, that have decided against checking with leadership in Ukraine. So I'm just going to hope that this is not what happened. I hope every attender walks out if it is. Soon after Russian forces invaded Ukraine last month, Penn was seen in the country making a documentary for Vice about the war. The actor then traveled to Poland, where the majority of people fleeing the war initially arrive. Penn, who has won the Best Oscar twice, I haven't seen any of those movies, is not personally nominated this year, but does appear in Paul Thomas Anderson's Licorice Pizza, which is seen as a licorice pizza. Which is seen as a leading contender for Best Original Screenplay. Let me check. Just wanted to make sure I didn't have any people in the chat section. 94 Academy Awards returns to the Dolby Theater in Hollywood amid continued uncertainty over the intensity of nominees recently diagnosed with COVID. Earlier on Saturday night, Lin-Manuel, who has 2 films in competition, Encanto and Tick Tick Boom, said he would no longer be able to attend after his wife tested positive. On Friday, the Academy further tightened its rules on entry requirements, announcing anyone within a 5-day window of a positive test would be barred, even if they were now testing negative. The health status of Belfast nominees Kenneth Branagh and Ciarán Hinds, who tested shortly after the BAFTAs a fortnight ago, is not known. The Best Picture race is seen as an increasingly tight contest between Jane Campion's lauded Western, The Power of the Dog, and Coda, a small domestic drama about hearing impaired family in a small fishing tunnel. Now, I read it because I wanted to get through. I wanted to give you some background on this. Now, Sean Penn said in it that My Hollywood, okay, so the Hollywood group is not the American people, not a complaint, just an observation, okay? So now let's look at the Zelensky thing from a couple of angles. Number one, if you are the president of a country that is under attack from a foreign force, it's probably not best if you try to do a live camera screen link anywhere. You should probably be in a bunker, and you should probably be very, very careful that someone doesn't murder you. And I'm saying that in honesty. Like, I'm not, that's just me. Okay. Number two, like look at me. I'm here in St. Louis, real estate broker, talking to maybe 10 people. Okay. If I say something like this, if we as realtors don't invite Zelensky to the Inmen Connect conference in New York City on October 3rd at 10 a.m., I'm going to what? I'm going to melt my Yeti Deerwood Realty cup, tumbler. What is that going to do? Number one, I like my Yeti tumbler. Like, why would I melt it? Number two, nothing. It would do nothing. Do you know why? Because no one cares. And so I hate to say this, but like, if you're going to have a protest of something, I don't think that he understands how few people care if he melts his Oscars or not. I don't really care. And I hope this doesn't come across as a pro-Putin moment or a pro-Zelensky. The whole thing is stupid. This whole thing is really dumb. And I hate when people get killed. Any people, for any reason, except for certain people that deserve it. I don't think somebody in a country just walking around, like, living their life, going to work, needs to be murdered. Okay. So anyway, I thought this article was instructive because it just shows how out of touch this man is with reality. And for people to look up to this and say he's such a brilliant actor, and so brave for doing this. And what's he giving up? 5-star hotels? The guy was married to Madonna. I mean, come on. So I'm not into this. I'm not into this. If something would be more fascinating to me would be as if 5 years from now he says in an interview that he did melt his Oscars, and that he, in the first place, not telling us until that happened, because I don't care. You're not, you know what? You're going to be fine. Even if something happens to you, you've had a pretty good life. There are people that go to work every day. Like, they get up really early in the morning and they work at really crappy jobs, and no one cares about them at all. And they do it day after day after day. And, this person here is not in a position to, in my opinion, is not in a position to be this way. I mean, this is stupid. All right. So if you want to know my politics, I don't know if that gives you a window into it, other than I just think this is dumb. I think this is dumb. And you say, well, he's a figurehead. No. This is, if you don't do something I will throw a temper tantrum, and you should care. And I don't care. So that's that. Let's look at some luxury homes now. Vail, Colorado. I was going through it. There was new construction, so I wanted to see if there was more. So let's go to this one. $28.2 million, 6 bedrooms, 7.5 baths, 6,000 square feet. We got 9 pictures. What it says. Let's look at the property details. Rare opportunity to own a new construction contemporary mountain masterpiece in the most coveted neighborhood in Vail. Nestled between Forest and Rockledge Road, this modern mountain retreat has direct access to the ski slopes and Vail Village. This custom residence features 6 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms, and over 2,000 square feet of heated outdoor living space. This thoughtful floor plan maximizes indoor and outdoor living, offering 3 levels of luxurious living. Every room is an experience with extraordinary attention to detail. Grand glass walls harness breathtaking views of the Gore Range and surrounding mountains. This spectacular home is the finest new offering in Vail. So let's just take a look. I don't know. Like heated outdoor space. What in the world? Very contemporary looking. $28 million, 6,000 square feet on a third of an acre. Oh, that was it. Not very exciting. These are new construction, and my worry with new construction is sometimes I can't tell if it's like CGI or if it's like real. So this here, it looks good. 10.2 million, 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, 2,600 square feet on a 0.3 acre lot, a third of an acre. 1 car garage, been on the market 80 days. It's $3,830 per square foot. Oh, it says prime redevelopment opportunity for a ski in, ski out residence. So I don't particularly want to do that. 9.9 million, 6 beds, 6.5 baths, 6,060 square foot on a half acre lot. Let's look at that one. 16 pictures. I mean, it's cool looking, right? Look at the snow. You can see the mountains. Those are ski mountains there. I know this. I'm not a skier, but I can tell. I've seen how they do it. Look at the little puffy chairs. 3 car garage, been on the market 19 days, built in 2000. I mean, it's just, oh, who's that? Interesting. Didn't see that coming. It's cute. It's a nice house. Is there anything on the details that are interesting? Come to one of the most charming residences in the desirable Potato Patch neighborhood with bird's eye view of Vail Mountain. This well-appointed custom single-family home has contemporary flavor, includes 6 bedrooms, a lower level bonus den, and multiple office spaces, every room with expansive ski slope vistas. Spacious floor plan for multi-general living includes an elevator. I love elevators, wine room, and even a separate apartment with its own 1-car garage. Club membership to the highly sought after Passport Club in Vail Village includes private parking, club lounge, ski locker, and member activities. Avoid the 60-year wait list. Convenience and luxury at its best. Man. 60-year wait list, huh? Let's look at this one. 4 beds, 7.5 baths, 5,292 square feet. $9.8 million. 48 pictures, 32 days on the market. Built in 1974. It's a 2-car garage. Listed since 2020. Property details. Back on the market. 1451, whatever. A stunning mountaintop retreat perched high above the valley floor with dramatic views spanning across all of Vail from the Gore Range to Beaver Creek. Featuring 4 bedrooms and 4.5 baths, 3 laundry areas. 3 laundry areas, that's pretty cool. Office, multiple outdoor living spaces with 2 outdoor showers, hot tub, and a fire pit. Inspired by Frank Lloyd Wright architecture, the contemporary interiors create a home built for the mountain living, with plenty of space for relaxing and entertaining. In summertime, enjoy bringing the outdoors in with so many beautiful patios located in every direction, creating a connection to nature. No doubt that you will enjoy the sweeping views of Vail from every room with walls of windows capturing every sunrise and sunset. I mean, look at that. It's kind of like layers. It is contemporary looking, no question there. On this picture here, like that's like glass. I wonder when it snows how that looks, and how the snow doesn't like come through the glass. How much engineering has to be done to make sure that doesn't happen. Look at that fireplace. That's cool. I like this house because you're up high and you're looking down on others. And that's what these people want to do at all times. So I understand it. So is there a problem here with the fact that they're taking pictures in the spring, or, it's fascinating though. Have you ever been to Vail? Can we look at one more? Cause I like it. We'll go long today. 7.9 million. 28 pictures. 4 bedrooms, 4.5 baths, built in 2005, 2-car garage, 150 days on the market. On a 1 acre lot though, and I can see there's a nice wall there, and there's like water here, maybe, I don't know. Property details. You will love this rare private Vail single family home that sits on top of the mountain with soaring unobstructed 360-degree views of mountains, waterfalls, ski slopes, and even the occasional bighorn sheep. Custom built by the owners on a large lot surrounded by open space. Vaulted ceilings with large windows and open floor plan, perfectly suited for entertaining. Buyer could double the square footage as a single family home, or a developer could add on a duplex. Sitting at the end of the cul-de-sac, you have no through traffic and really do feel like you're king of the hill. This special neighborhood is close to Vail Village, golf course, Vail Mountain School, and spectacular hiking trails, all in the town of Vail. What's the property history? It just started listed at 2021. I can see paying for views that you can't get anywhere else. Okay. That's fine with me. I can't see paying, do I want to pay $7.9 million in a McMansion, living next to everyone else, in Afton? No, that's not what I want. That doesn't make any sense. I still don't have that view. Okay. There's nothing maybe the Mississippi River, maybe, but we don't have views like this. Okay. We have a problem in St. Louis when we think that we can compete with places like Colorado. It's not going to happen, unless we lower our taxes and give people a bunch of benefits to move here. And even then, they're still going to vacation in these beautiful places because they're gorgeous. All right. So that was that. That's all we're looking at today. Vail is pretty cool. Okay. There's only 12 homes available even. And all of them are over $1 million. So I need to do better work. I'm just telling you so that you understand that I do, how do I explain it? I do understand that I need to do a better job of getting us luxury locations so we can look at homes like this in the United States. I need to get my list updated. I will do a better job, I promise. Just give me some time. Things are a little busy right now. Two things I wanted to go over here. This was a letter that showed up in the Wall Street Journal, I guess, but it's also here, and it's a letter to Joe Biden, who, doesn't care. I don't think he's sitting there saying, "Oh, thank you for writing me a letter. I'm really worried about that." So here we go. Oh, goodness. It says, a highly diverse group of more than 40 housing leaders today sent a letter to President Biden requesting that he create a President's Council on Housing Affordability. The leaders represent every facet of the housing industry, from affordable housing advocacy organizations to industry stakeholders. I don't know that these letters ever work, but I wanted to read the letter to see what it said, because I just, AARP and the AFL-CIO are involved in it. It's not for the people. That's all you need to know. That's all you need. Just look at the list of people, and then right away that it's not the Mortgage Bankers Association, National Association of Home Builders. I don't see the National Association of Realtors on there. I'm surprised. Oh, here we go. National Association of Local Financing Agencies, National Association of Realtors. So, the whole cast and crew is involved. Mr. President, We are writing to respectfully request that you convene a President's Council on Housing Affordability. Despite gains in levels of building both single-family and multifamily homes, housing prices are rising rapidly. Why is that? Well, they say it's driven by more than a decade of housing production deficits, supply shortages, rising labor and material costs, and pandemic-related supply chain issues. The cost of shelter is less affordable for everyone across the income spectrum, particularly for those that are at least able to afford it. Housing is a continuum. Lower home ownership rates lead to higher rents, where demand exceeds the already severe shortage of housing affordable to the lowest income households. This, in turn, may increase homelessness amongst those who already struggle to afford shelter. Okay, that's their belief. High housing costs contributes in part to the current levels of inflation and pushes home ownership. You know what? I think they know this. I think this is on purpose. Home ownership and affordable rents out of reach for many. Housing is the single largest component of the Consumer Price Index, comprising 33% of the basket of goods used to determine the index, which is commonly used to measure inflation. As you know, inflation has an extremely regressive impact, disproportionately hurting low and moderate income people compared to those with high incomes. Yes, it crushes them. It crushes them. And the more you crush them, the less you have to deal with them. They have no voice. But I'm sure that that's not what the people in Washington are thinking, because they're all wonderful people. For first-time homebuyers, the impact is severe. For every percentage point increase in mortgage interest rates, monthly payments rise 13 to 14%. It says, unfortunately, the primary tool to control inflation is the Federal Reserve Board's ability to increase interest rates, negatively affecting housing affordability. While this may be necessary to control inflation, it makes it an even harder challenge for those who need a mortgage to afford a home, which has a spillover effect on the rental market as well, as many of those households will now compete for rental units. Higher interest rates increase the cost to build, preserve, and operate rental housing as well. Yes, the Fed is in control of this. The Fed has always been in control of this, and maybe the Fed isn't that great, and maybe no one ever gets fired at the Fed, and maybe that's a problem. Maybe. But my understanding is, no, this is what I'm reading. I'm not trying to bias it. I am biased, but I'm just trying to say, look, I've been told that President Biden has no effect on oil prices, that he has got nothing to do with it. It's all Putin. I've been told that the supply chain issues from COVID are why there's inflation. It's got nothing to do with President Biden. Like, there's nothing that President Biden has done. Like, he's not in any way responsible for any of this. That's what I've been told. I don't know. I mean, I guess, okay. That's what I've been told. Higher interest rates will also curtail much needed home building, development, and preservation for all housing of all types, adding to the supply shortage and undercutting efforts to reduce costs. According to the National Association of Home Builders, residential construction materials are up 21% year over year. Higher interest rates will not yield more lumber and building materials. Falling supply in a market still short of inventory despite hard-fought gains for home building does not offer a good prognosis for recovery. To address housing affordability, we respectfully request that you convene a President's Council on Housing Affordability comprised of a broad range of external stakeholders and officials from the Departments of Agriculture, Commerce, Health and Human Services, Housing and Urban Development, Labor, Treasury, and Veterans Affairs to develop practical intricacy solutions. So, like, things are a mess, all right? That's what they're saying. Things are a mess. So would you please go ahead and don't really, like, we know that you're not able to do anything, but can you start a council? And if we just start this council and we put these people on the council, that will fix all the problems. We'll definitely get everything back in order. And here's where it's, here's where I want to put out the argument so that you can understand it. The argument is, well, you have to do something, right? You can't just let a crisis go, by itself. You can't let it fix itself because it's not. So you have a perception. Biden isn't in charge of the Senate. Thing is ridiculous as you like. No problem. I mean, that's what I see. You can say, well, that's not true. But this letter itself, by these people saying that you should convene a President's Council. Come on. It's basically like, hey, it's performative. You can't do anything about it. There's so many bad problems, but let's act like we're doing something. And how many times in our history are we going to do this? There's a problem, and so we create a fake solution. Oh, someone may have cheated here. Oh, someone may have gotten an advantage there. Oh, someone may have broke the law here. Rather than investigate through the normal powers of the investigative, group, meaning like the FBI, the state, I don't mean the State Department, FBI, local, state, and federal law enforcement to actually investigate. We're going to call a ham-handed Senate panel to fix this problem or to investigate it. It just doesn't work. It's ridiculous. The whole thing is stupid. So anyway, I just think it's funny, and I wanted you to know where I think about a bunch of people writing a letter to Joe Biden who isn't reading it anyway. I mean, seriously. Now, that's that. Now, the next article. This is by Mike Delpret. I don't know. A nice man. I told him the other day, I like your writing. I like what you do. Keep it up. I emailed him. I did. Maybe we'll have him on the show someday. Maybe. But let's go over it. Growth Machines, Compass, EXP, and the Future of Brokerage. Very fascinating article. Now, I have a real estate brokerage. Am I biased? I guess I'm biased against being part of another real estate brokerage because I have my own. So it says the major publicly listed brokerages all posted impressive revenue, transaction, and agent count growth in 2021. Yes. Why it matters. In a notoriously slow-moving industry, these are eye-catching gains. Revenue at Compass beat out Reality's owned brokerage group for the first time. Realty is Coldwell Banker, Century 21, Better Homes and Gardens. I think they have Corcoran. There's like 7 brands or 8 brands in Realty. It says eXp Realty doubled its U.S. revenue in 2021. For a business already operating at scale, this is a very impressive feat. By the numbers, eXp Realty rocketed past industry incumbent Realty in an accelerating growth curve, topping 400,000 transactions in 2021. Agent counts are driving this growth. Despite promises of disintermediation, disruption, and technological efficiency, the agent is still central to that transaction. And that's what I read. That's what I wrote to the guy. I said, look, man, everyone in the real estate press is talking about how we're going to have disruption. We're going to have all this stuff, but they forget that there's agents actively working, and they're the key. Now, people don't like agents. I get that. But the alternative is definitely not better. Compared to its peers, the agent growth at eXp Realty has been jaw-dropping. eXp added more new agents in 2021 than Compass has in total. The big picture, amidst the hyperbole of disruption, the future of brokerage is still being shaped by real estate agents. I mean, this is exactly what I've been saying. People write stuff that's just a ridiculous. I mean, if you're in the business and you read it, you're like, this is stupid. You can't possibly believe this. But there's actually like a hierarchy, and agents are at the very bottom. The executives that run franchises, those people are clueless as to what goes on in the daily real estate world. They may read graphs and they may see charts and stuff. They're not focused on the transaction though. They have no idea how it goes. And then it goes even worse. So there's like the press, who also isn't doing real estate day to day, gets their reporting from not agents, but these franchise companies, the executives there who aren't in the, and then you just get this disinformation that's wild. And this guy, Mike, he's got it figured out. He's like, I'm looking at this industry. Okay. And I don't know if he's got any agent, I don't know if he's been a real estate agent. I don't know, but there's something about him where he seems to understand where the business really is, how the business is being produced. Brokerages are growing by recruiting more agents. The more agent a brokerage adds, the more the transactions grow. That's exactly right. Like what I would do if I was smart is I would go and I would just try to pick up agents. That's what a brokerage should do. That's its job. Its job is not to do transactions. That's for the agents. Your job as a brokerage is to recruit. And you say, well, John, you're not doing that. And you're like, you know what? I'm not. Why aren't you doing it? Well, I don't want to play in this pool. You know, I have agents, they get calls. Jan gets calls every week from some company that wants her to go and work for them. Okay. They promise her the moon. Okay. And there's something about really being a real estate agent is like, it's on you. Like if you want to be there's no training, there's nothing, there's no tech, there's no leads, there's nothing that's going to get you where you want to go except for you at the end of the day. The brand doesn't matter. I could have the best. What is the best brand? If you think the brands matter that much, who's heard of eXp Realty? Who heard of them 10 years ago? Brands don't matter. It's people that matter. I'm John Schenk of Deerwood Realty. You would have to know me by my name because you're not calling Deerwood Realty for anything other than to recruit me, which is funny. All right, let's keep going. Agent recruitment is a key advantage for brokerages. Compass and eXp's growth has been propelled by generous financial incentives offers to agents. Be smart. Perhaps consider Compass's technology platform through the lens of agent recruitment and retention, and its level of investment is understandable. Yes. Well, they're doing some tricky things. They're doing some tricky things over there at Compass. I don't know about eXp. I don't really care. Like, anyone that gets in the space between myself and me doing the real estate business with my clients, that's a problem. But if you want to get out there and, you know, steal clients left and right or steal sellers and buyers from other brokerages and whatnot, I'm fine with that. Go for it. Good luck. That's so totally fair to me, and it doesn't bother me at all. But if you start telling me that only this group of agents can do this because they're with this group, that's when we're going to start fighting. And one of the things that I saw that irritated me more than anything, and I'll end on this, look, I'll bring it down to the base frame. Zillow became a brokerage. The moment that they became a brokerage, they were not helping agents anymore. They're a terrible company. You should have nothing to do with them if you're an agent. But agents need leads. Agents don't care about their own business. They don't care about the industry themselves. They care about their own business. And so some of these executives who don't do deals for a living were quick to say, do not disparage Zillow because they're also a brokerage just like you. You're not allowed to do that. Yeah, well, screw you. I'm going to do it because I don't care. Zillow is not good. When they decided to horn in on the real estate brokerage, that was the moment that they weren't a good company. They have nothing going on for me. There will never be Deerwood Realty relationship with Zillow. I mean, I'm on their platform, but I'm not actively paying for their services. And it was because they lied. They did want to become a brokerage. They did want to do all that stuff. And they got their hat handed to them. And how they're going to pay that back is they're going to charge more for their services. And who are they charging? Agents. You could stop the cycle immediately, and you don't. Because you're greedy. You're greedy as agents. And Zillow's greedy. And that's why you work well together. It's gross. All right. On that note, I'm out. You guys have a great day. I'm going to be, submitting offers, showing houses, trying to clean up my office. It looks like a tornado hit it. Trying to, kind of work, but work in a relaxing way, if that's even possible. Wish me luck. Thank you for watching. I'll be here tomorrow, 9 a.m. Central Time. John Schenk, Deerwood Realty, real estate broker in South County, Afton, Missouri. Like, share, subscribe. It'd be nice to have some more subscribers. It'd be nice to have some more people to chat with during the day. Come on in. I have one other story for tomorrow. I'll bring it up. I think it's a good one. You should come and see me tomorrow at 9 a.m.